Scioto County Daily News. My name is Aspa, and today we're going to be doing some cooking. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I love trying new things in the kitchen. So a lot of times the recipes that I try are things that I looked up. And what I've found is the cook times can be a little bit deceptive, especially for someone like me who doesn't always allot enough time to actually cook a meal and waits until I'm already starving to do so. So today I'm going to be running through a recipe that I found and really liked, and it's supposed to be a short recipe, under 30 minutes. It's supposed to be about 26 minutes, so we're going to run through it and see if that's actually accurate. Let's get started. I'm going to link the recipe so you guys can follow along as we do this. So step number 1 is to preheat the oven to 350. So now it says to sprinkle the chicken with salt and pepper, whisk together egg and 2 tablespoons of water, dredge chicken in flour, dip in egg mixture, and dredge in breadcrumbs, shaking off excess. Okay, so I'm going to start that off by getting out the chicken. This is my chicken. So we're going to start off by sprinkling it with salt and pepper. Okay, so I'm going to start off by putting some salt and pepper on this chicken. It doesn't say how much, so I'm just going to do my best. This might be the wrong amount, but you know, we're just trying. All right, so salt and pepper. Now we're gonna whisk together. I quartered the recipe, so because I'm one person and this serves 4, I just did 1/4 of the recipe, but I can't do 1/4 of an egg, so we're just gonna crack 1 egg. So it says whisks together an egg and 2 tablespoons of water. So, okay, so now we've got our egg wash, our breadcrumbs, and our flour. So I'm going to start off by dredging the chicken in the flour and then dipping it in the egg mixture. And then back into the breadcrumbs. And then shaking off the excess. Okay, so next it says, this is step 2. We just got to step 2. It says cook chicken in hot oil in a large oven-proof skillet over medium to high heat for 3 to 4 minutes. Now, I'm just doing this one piece of chicken, so I don't know if that's going to be less time. So we'll see. I'm going to start off by adding in the oil and letting that heat up for a little bit. It also says to top the chicken with the ham and the cheese, so I'm going to get that out as well. Okay, so my pan is hot now. I'm going to put the chicken in. This is what the chicken looks like in the pan, so it's been about 1 minute, so you can already see it kind of starting to sizzle. Alright, so I left it in there for about 3 minutes, and it looks like about that golden brown color that it's supposed to be. So that should be good. I'm going to look ahead a little bit, so the next thing it wants me to do is bake this until the cheese is melted, or for about 8 minutes, and serve over the pasta. So while this is finishing up, I'm going to start boiling the pasta. In hindsight, might be a good idea to do that first, start that off first. Might save you some time. Alright, so now I've got my pasta boiling right here, and I'm going to put the ham and the cheese just right on top. And then now it's just about ready to go into the oven. So this is what it looks like right before it's going to go into the oven. Alright, so now the pasta is cooking. So with the pasta, the only thing it says is to boil it and then toss it with a 1/4 cup of garlic herb butter. So we're also going to make the garlic herb butter while the pasta is boiling. It's basically just a bunch of like basil, parsley, stuff like that. I think you're supposed to blend it, but I don't have a blender, so we're just going to mix it. And then I'm going to quarter the recipe, so I'm going to make a little bit of a smaller amount. So the garlic herb butter is made, this was really simple. It took me about 5 minutes. You literally just melt some butter and then chop up some like leaves and then throw them in the butter and mix it together. It says that this keeps for a while, but I just made enough for one time. And then the chicken should be done in a couple minutes. And then the pasta is just about boiled. So the last thing I have to do is saute the grape tomatoes. I don't have any grape tomatoes, so I just got a big tomato that I'm gonna cut up. And then it says to saute it with brown sugar, balsamic vinegar, and salt. So I'm gonna start with doing that. So I don't know how well you can see it, but this is what the chicken looks like. It's been about 8 minutes, so I'm gonna take it out now. Okay, so now I'm gonna do the tomatoes. So just a touch of oil, and then I'm gonna put the tomatoes in. The next thing it says is to get in the brown sugar, the balsamic vinegar, and the salt. So I'll start with the brown sugar. Again, I'm doing these quantities a little bit smaller because I'm only cooking for myself. And I'm gonna do just a little bit throughout the pan, if I can get it out. Next, I'm gonna add just a touch of balsamic vinegar. And lastly, just a bit of salt. And it looks like that's just about everything here. When it's done, I'm gonna add the basil as well. Okay, so I finished up with the tomatoes. So I'm gonna turn off the heat and then just add in some of the basil. And the spaghetti is finished cooking as well, so I'm gonna drain that and then mix in the garlic herb butter. And then we should be just about done. Okay, so I just finished up with the pasta, mixed in the butter, and then put the chicken and tomatoes on top. So let me give you a show of what that looks like. So this is our finished product. Not exactly what the picture looks like, but, you know, close enough, right? Okay, so now we're gonna try this, see if it's edible. It is cooked all the way through, which is good. Let's see if it is burnt. It's pretty golden brown on both sides. It's a little bit burnt on one side, but it's not too bad. Yeah, it's pretty good. I might have added a little bit more seasoning if I was making the chicken, maybe some chili powder or something, because it's a little bit bland. But yeah, not too bad at all. Okay, so just some quick takeaways. It is 6:11 now. I started at 5:30. So the recipe said it would take about 26 minutes, but it took about 41. That being said, I'm also cooking in a kitchen that isn't mine, so I didn't know where everything was. And I didn't read through the entire recipe when I started, so I definitely could have made it a little faster just by boiling the pasta at the very beginning and stuff like that. And I also did make a smaller recipe, and I was filming while doing all of this, so that probably added, 10 minutes with the camera and everything. So throughout all of that, I can let you guys make your decision or kind of your estimate on how long you think it would take for you. So some other things, as I am cooking for only one, even quartering the recipe, I think it might not be worth the hassle. It tastes very good, but also it's like 2 slices of ham and like a couple leaves of parsley and stuff like that. So you have to buy like the whole pack, and unless you want to be eating chicken for weeks, then that might not necessarily be a realistic option for you. But it was very good, and I think it would be really quick to feed a family or feed a larger portion of people. Either way, I have my dinner for tonight, so I'm a happy camper. That's all for now. Scioto County Daily News. See you soon.